Hello everybody, Life on End here, and welcome to another episode of the Extinction Armory Upgrade Analysis Series. Goodness, that's a mouthful of words to say, but now that I have that out of the way, let's get on to the actual content of this video. Today we're going to be talking about the Flaming Stowed Riot Shield, and, well, unlike what I was wishing it was did the very first time I heard of it, it is not on fire while it's on your back all of the time, sadly. I was really just hoping that I could kind of run around the entire map with just my back on fire the entire time, but once again, that is just a wish. Anyways, let's get on to what this actually does. This ability is very simple. It is quite simply when an enemy hits you in the back, it sets them on fire. It doesn't really do much else than that. And to get into the specifics of it, of course, it sets them on fire for exactly 1 second, no more, no less. The time of the fire does not increase with levels of the shield, so you can keep your shield at level 1 and it will burn for 1 second, and if you level up your shield to level 5 or 4 depending on how you're looking at it, then it's still going to be 1 second. The level of your riot shield does not affect the damage or time they are burning in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, when I was thinking about how I was going to make this video and get footage, I was thinking to myself, it's going to be extremely hard to get footage of them hitting me in the back and burning whenever I can't see behind me. So what I did was I had my good friend Mr. Fraggrenades come over to my place, and I had him recover my account to his Xbox just to prove to you people I did grind out the teeth for this ability and didn't just cheat my way out of it and use someone else's account. You can see my name clearly above his head right there, and I played on his account, and you know what, we just went through a game and I picked out what clips I could of him getting hit in the back. Now unfortunately it was not exactly easy for me to watch him the entire time that we were in the game, so really I came up with like 2 or 3 clips for the whole game. But halfway through the game I had an idea. I was just like, I want to know how many times a rhino has to smack your shield in order for it to die. I just wanted some sort of a damage estimate of some sort. So for most of this video you're going to be watching him getting hit in the back by that rhino, because it indeed takes an extremely long time, which I was hoping it did more damage than it does, but you know, what do you do? Now I can tell you that a scout will die in 2 hits. If they hit you in the back twice, they will die from the fire. That's just okay, but like I said, it's only a scout. The hunters, it takes probably 6 or 7, and that's solo. So, I mean, the aliens increase with health the more players that there are, so the more players there are, the more hits it's going to take. That's just the way that it's going to be. However, that being said, the purpose of this ability is not to kill enemies. It's just not. If that was what its purpose would be, that would make it extremely overpowered.
It's after my soul.
Its purpose is to weaken enemies, and that's what it does extremely well, as long as you're not letting a rhino just bash you in the back.
Hope shield.
But it also sets them on fire, and setting things on fire for me is just pure fun. I could almost just buy this upgrade just to set things on fire and not do that much damage, just because I like the look of things on fire. Maybe I'm just a bit of a pyromaniac, but oh well, what do you do? I like fire. Now, if somebody were to ask me, is it worth getting a riot shield and putting it on your back, is it worth the $700 that the riot shield cost? And I would say abso-freaking-lutely. because for one, it's making it where you take 0 damage when you get hit in the back. That alone is worth $700. But the other reason that it's worth it is the fact that even if it doesn't kill the enemy that it's setting on fire, and you're playing with some teammates and they kill the enemy after it's been set on fire, you get money for the assist. And the money you get from assists, whether it be a phantom or a hunter or possibly a scout, if a scout actually hits you and doesn't die, then it's almost pays for the riot shield itself, especially if you put 1 point into the riot shield, which gives you an additional 5 points of health on your riot shield, which is a 50% increase from its level 0/level 1 stance. Now, just because we are about to reach the point where this rhino dies, I will tell you it took 50 times of it being set on fire for it to die. Now, that being said, I can compare that to a weapon damage, and that is the P226. The P226 being used by a weapon specialist, which the 20% increase of the weapon specialist, it's 2 shots from a P226 is the equivalent of being set on fire once by the riot shield. And if you are wondering why the heck I know that is the damage of the P226 compared to this, well, I was using it in some testing for the next episode that is going to be coming out, and you will realize why the heck I know that when you watch my next episode when it comes out. Anyways, if I'm going to say the most useful place and time for this riot shield, then it's on any map except Point of Contact. Point of Contact is the worst map to have this ability upgrade for. And that being, the reason that is because it is an open map, and it is the most open map that we have. When you are running around like crazy in the close quarters of Mayday/Nightfall, it's going to get hit a lot more than compared to when it's just on your back in Point of Contact. Now, that being said, whenever you're solo Point of Contact on hardcore, you are going to absolutely love this thing, because well, today I ran one of those just to see how far I could make it, because I was just curious, and I actually wasn't recording because I didn't have my recording stuff set up here where I am currently, but I got hit a ton in the back and on solo, and that it did work. But assuming that most people don't play solo, because most of the time I try not to, because it is so much more fun to play co-op. The most useful time in Point of Contact to use this riot shield is, of course, whenever you are running back to the helicopter after you set the nuke. It was quite funny when Frags was casually walking away from the, I guess the Odin missile impact site. He said he never sprinted the entire time, really. He said he just walked and just let everything behind him get set on fire. Now, that being said, he had his riot shield completely upgraded and maxed out, so it had 25 health, so it could take a ton of hits from those rhinos and everything else behind him. But he literally casually walked out. Now, had we not went on this little suicide mission and attempted to revive our teammates way back there like we are about to, we would have made it easily out of here. Now, do I think this ability is worth 20 teeth? It's a very, very tough question. I'm gonna say that, because I love the fact that there is visuals for when it shows like someone hitting you in the back. I love the flame effect. I know that's just an aesthetic part of it, but I love the fact it sets them on fire. That may be one reason I hate stun vests as much as I do, is because I have no visual cue whatsoever. But I'm not going to rant on about my stun vests anymore. I'm going to continue talking about this, and I'm gonna say I don't think it's worth 20 if you take the fact that it sets them on fire, just the looks of it out. The amount of damage it does is not a huge amount. It's a very, very small amount of damage. It's just enough to get you assists, which pay off your riot shield. But I don't think it's worth an entire 20 teeth just on that fact. However, if you account for the fact that it does make them burn, and I love fire, then I would say it's absolutely worth 20 teeth, and I might be biased on that. I don't know, but I love the fact that it sets them on fire. It makes me very, very happy. So yes, I would say, in my personal opinion, based on the aesthetics effects of it too, that yes, it's quite worth 20 teeth, and I would completely recommend this to everybody that uses a riot shield and not something else. Now, thank you everybody for the long wait for this video, and thank you for everybody for subscribing. That has the number of subscribers that I've jumped up in just the past week is insane. Like, this just blows my mind into a completely different dimension. And hopefully now that, you know, all my finals are over and I'm out of college, I can get videos out much quicker and not run into issues like I have. The next episode is going to be over the high grade armor piercing ammo, and that should be up within the next 2 to 3 days, not longer than that, I promise. I'm also just going to start throwing in some more grinding teeth episodes here and there, because I mean, that's just more videos up. If you don't want to watch those, you don't have to. I understand a lot of people have subscribed to my channel just because I do these analysis videos, and that is completely okay. I completely understand if somebody does not want to watch me run through point of contact quite a few times like I do, but I am going to be going through different strategies and just different fun ways just to make it fun, I guess. I've been doing a lot of different ways to get through this map, including like using only the Panzerfaust and using only death machines, and you know, so on and so forth. But anyways guys, I'm gonna stop rambling on like I tend to do once I have a black screen and I'm out of footage. And if you're still listening to this, you're awesome. And there's life on end here, and I am out.